Thank you, guys. Thank you for that huge round of applause I so deserve. My name is Nelson, and yes, I do own a cat. Don't judge me. I own a cat because I enjoy being in an abusive relationship. Why else would anybody own a cat? Those things are awful. My cat is a huge asshole. Like, for real, like, seriously, this really happened. One time, I caught my cat licking all of the butter off of my cornbread. Didn't eat any of the cornbread, just licked all of the butter off of it, and it completely ruined my meal. And it pissed me off, because after all of that hard work and dedication that I put into it, I had to do the logical thing and throw away the cat. We need to stop being politically correct in this country. I think it's stupid. It's beginning to be a problem. Like, I feel like people nowadays are trying so hard not to offend others that they're just being more offensive. So recently, a friend of mine got a puppy, so I was trying to figure out its breed with him and his sister. And pretty much the only thing I said in this conversation was that I thought that it was some sort of coonhound. And his sister immediately gave me this death stare. She was like, "Why would you ever say such a thing? You know how hurtful it is to say something like that?" And I was like, "You do realize, in this instance, the word coon is short for raccoon, right? Like, that is a breed of dog that is meant to hunt raccoons. Did you think I was talking about black people?" She was like, "Oh my God, I had no idea. Honestly, I just thought that it was an offensive term for black people." I was like, "No. What's offensive was you assumed I thought that this dog hunted black people. That is way worse. Plus, those would be German Shepherds, so you're wrong twice." I feel like after that joke, I always have to clarify that I'm half black. And then people are like, "No, that guy's just an asshole." I am, but I'm a half black asshole. Prefer the term African American, though. Sounds better. I've been spending a lot of time with my grandma recently. Spending a lot of time with her. She's 88 years old. That's very old for a person to live. 88. We had to get her a Life Alert recently. I don't know if you guys remember Life Alert, but they used to have these commercials on TV where an old lady would be on the floor, and she'd go, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up." And then she'd push a little button and a male stripper would be sent to her house. You guys remember? I had to get my grandma one of those. Because not too long ago, I went up to her place to do some chores for her. And when I got up there, I noticed through her front window that she was on the floor and having a very hard time getting up. So I burst through the front door, and I run over to my grandma, and I try lifting her. But I couldn't do it. Look at me. I couldn't do it. I could not lift my grandma. It was the saddest moment of my entire life. Because I just saw all of the pride that my grandma had in me fade from her eyes as she realized this is the guy she's been sending Christmas checks to all these years. And none of it went towards weights. I had to call 911 and say, "Help, my grandma has fallen and I can't get her up." Wow. Thank you, Tina and Vina. After 5 minutes, an ambulance comes to the front of my grandma's house, and a guy my age walks through the front door. This guy is easily 3 times bigger than I am, walks over to my grandma and puts one arm down. She puts her arms around his bicep and he lifts her up like it's nothing. And then gives me a look. Like, I can fuck your grandma if I want to. So ladies, I gotta get out of here soon. Guys, want to get this point across. Not all stereotypes are based on truth. Like, just because somebody looks a certain way, it doesn't mean that they're supposed to act that way, right? Like, it's not true. I experienced that not too long ago when I was approached by a very scary-looking Mexican dude off the street. And I say very scary because he was bald-headed, wife-beater, tattoos all over the place, very sketchy. And he picks me out of a group of people, looks at me and goes, hey, fool, come here, come talk to me. Hey, I'm not gonna hurt you. Like, come here, come talk to me. Hey, tell me, fool, have you ever seen The Notebook? I know, I was shocked too. I was like, I thought it was a trick. I was like, no, I haven't. He goes, oh, that's a sad movie, dog. Like, no, for reals, it's like one of the saddest movies ever. Okay, it starts off with this old guy. He goes up to this old lady. He's like, hey, let me tell you a story. And she's like, no, I don't want to listen. Like, you're old and shit. He's like, yeah, but you're old too, bitch. Let me just tell you. He starts telling her about these 2 white people in the 1930s, and they fall in love together. No, they're going to carnivals, they're in boats with swans and shit. It's romantic, fool. Turns out the 2 old people are the people from the story. But the lady, she can't remember nothing because she got Alzheimer's disease. It's hard for her. But she ends up remembering, fool. She remembers everything. And they fall in love all over again. And it's so beautiful. But then they die, fool. They fucking die. That shit is sad, dog. Like, low-key, that shit made me cry, for real. So I got her for $5. You want it? I was like, you son of a bitch. You tricked me. But I felt bad, so I bought it from him. And when I put it in my laptop later, it was him going, so this old guy goes up to this old lady. Hey, you guys have been awesome. Thanks so much. My name is Nelson. Have a good night.